Hello, I am Ali Izzat Kasti and I'm here with the LS-HMI training. In the previous lesson, we became more familiar with the different types of LS-HMIs. Today we want to get to know the XP Builder software and its environment better. The XP Builder software is related to programming LS-HMIs. You can download this software for free from the LS website. After you install it, when you open the software, the first page of the software looks like this. If you want to create a new project, you need to click on this section. But if you have already worked on a project and created it and you want to open it again, you can do this through this menu. Now I want to create a new project. So I click on this section and a new window opens for me. Here you can see the different types of LS-HMIs. You can view them here. You can select whichever HMI you have here. For example, I'll choose the EXP2 HMI. Now for the EXP2 HMI, it shows us the different models here. For instance, I'll select the EXP2-0701. In this section, it displays the specifications of this HMI for us, such as, for example, what type of LCD it has, like if it's TFT, what ports it has, and we can see all its specifications here. This particular section is specifically for our controller settings, which is about precisely which controller we want to connect this HMI to. For example, if we want to connect this HMI unit to a PLC. This section then has a comprehensive vendor option where we have various different brands available here for PLCs. We can select whichever brand we want here. For example, I'll choose the LS brand. Now, within the LS brand, this section has a product option that shows us the different models of LS PLCs. It displays them for us here. So, for example, let's say I want to connect an HMI to a PLC, a compact LS PLC, so I need to select XEC link here. Now, whether it's through the RS-232 port or the RS-485 port, whichever one of these I want to connect, I have to select XEC link. Alright, in this section there's a communication settings option. If I click on it, a new window will open for us. Alright, this section brings up the same previous specifications for us again. Here I can specify the serial port, so for example, I can connect the PLC to the HMI via RS-232, or via RS-422, or via RS-485. For example, I select RS-232 here. It brings up the settings related to RS-232 for me here. Alright, this section has one. It has a detail settings option. If I click here, a window opens that shows us the network specifications here. And we can set the configurations related to the serial port right here. This part is for baud rate, so I can select the baud rate here. And you know that when we connect the PLC to the HMI, the baud rate of the PLC and the HMI, both of them must be the same. Alright, this section is for parity, where we can select the parity, and this part is for the stop bit. This section is for the station number, where we can specify the HMI's station number here. Alright, here we have an add controller option. If you remember in our previous lesson, we specifically mentioned and discussed that the human-machine interface, or HMI, possesses various different ports, and you can simultaneously connect multiple devices to it. Connect the HMI, for example, to a PLC or say an inverter, or if you want, in addition to this RS-232 port that we've just configured here, for example, to simultaneously connect the HMI to another device via the RS-485 port. So here, I can click on Add Controller and it adds another controller for me here, just like that. Now I can configure its settings here. For example, let's say I want to connect this human-machine interface to another industrial programmable logic controller using the RS-485 serial communication protocol. Well, here again, I will then proceed to select the exec link option. This time down here, I select RS-485 as my serial port. Now, this HMI of ours has two RS485 ports. It has one COM1 and one COM3. So we can choose whichever one of these we want. For example, I select COM1, and again here there's a detail settings option that I can use. Port settings. I can set up my serial port here. So now I have two controllers. One controller 0, which is for the RS232 serial port, and one controller 1, which is for the RS485 serial port. And these two can work together simultaneously. And if you need more controllers, you can add them here using Add Controller. If I click here, I can add another controller, or if I don't need it, if I click on Delete here, I can remove the controller. All right, I'll confirm this. We enter the software environment. We go into the XB Builder software, and at the top section of XB Builder, we have various menus, and if needed, we can use any of these menus. The project menu is for when we want to create a new project, close our project, or save it, or print our project, or open previous projects. We can use this menu for that. There's an edit menu which we can use to edit the project. There's a view menu where we can select the things we need. There's also a command menu. Now, if I click on this section, a project property window will open for me. If in the XGT section, if I were to click on the panel settings option, it would promptly bring up the exact same settings that we have already meticulously configured. And if I need to change these settings, I can do it from here. I can change these settings through this section. We'll get familiar with these other menus in the upcoming tutorials. There's also a window menu for closing and a toolbox as well. So if needed, we can use these sections. And there's also a help menu where we can access the PDF. This software, XP Builder, provides us with it. There's also one here in this section called About XP Builder, which gives us the details of our software, like its version, for example. It's version 3.80, and this software is from the year 2023. Alright, in this particular section of our discussion, we are presented with a comprehensive toolbox that we can readily and effectively utilize if and when the necessity arises. And specifically within the domain of computer programming, we frequently and effectively utilize these essential tools. For example, we have a bit switch, a word switch, a bit lamp, a numeric display, and a numeric input, which we can use any of these in the main environment of the software, whichever we want. In this section, we also have a project where we can select whatever we need. We can choose here, and we also have a screen. The screen is for creating a page, which we can easily create many different pages here. And if I were to click on this particular section, we can indeed create as many individual pages as we truly desire here. We have a fundamental base. Screen, which is essentially our primary and most important main page. If I were to click right here, this is indeed our central main page, and now we can comfortably and effectively place whatever content or elements we specifically need to include here. In the very next and upcoming lesson, we will certainly get much more familiar with the fundamental principles of programming within the modern HTML5 environment. Thank you for your attention.